I now recognize Honorable Sukers.
Thank you, Honorable Chairperson. A long, hard winter approaches the poor and vulnerable when viewed through the current economic environment, the high rate of unemployment, and the instability many households are forced to endure post the COVID crisis. The budget of this department decreases by over 25 billion rand, and more people now need access to social security and support. The performance scorecard of the department is that of a struggling student who repeats the same mistakes year on year. The state's inability to transform itself to provide efficient service to the poor is the single biggest threat to the security and stability of South Africa. That within an environment with multiple threats. I say this to you today because in April, I received almost 20 to 30 messages daily from people who did not know how they will survive due to the non-stop payment of the SRD grant. We cannot afford to take the critical issues highlighted by my colleagues here today and the many alarms being raised by stakeholders in the social sector lightly. The state sets itself as an agitator of the worst kind to the poor. You promise relief and then stop it abruptly. In addition, you fail to plan and, more importantly, to communicate effectively for the legislative changes of which you knew comes with lifting the national state of disaster. The ACDP urgently appeals to this House and the department to consider the dire circumstances of our people that requires a deep rethink of the way in which we do things politically. If the state, this department and its entities continues to make the same repetitive mistakes and fails to adopt an urgent change of strategy in all its functions, this country will plunge into an unthinkable crisis. There can be no politicking or grandstanding. We are in a deep mess when it comes to the systems and processes that are supposed to undergird the social security network of this country. We must acknowledge that through the commitment and hard work of ordinary South Africans, there would not have been over 230 billion available for the protection of the poor and vulnerable in 2021. It is because of the ordinary men and women who get up and go to work, come rain or sunshine, that we have the biggest social security network on the continent. Let us and this department honor their commitment by doing the right thing. For the love of humanity, we ask you to plan and communicate effectively and to recover stolen grant monies from the criminals who stole it. Chairperson, we must lead differently. We cannot agitate for change but fail to recognize our own responsibility politically. If we fail, history will show us as the worst kind of leaders, criminal in our dereliction of duty, with a callousness that comes from spiritual bankruptcy. Thank you, Chair.